Hey critics, let's go black on the inside of People Magazine's February 24th issue. In this issue, they are talking Super Bowl, baby. Congratulations again to the Philadelphia Eagles, who won the game against the Kansas City Chiefs on February 9th in New Orleans, baby. It was my understanding that you know, it was the underdog team, right? And a lot of people love it when the underdogs win. So shout out again to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, while the highlight of the game for some people may have been the game, honey, the highlight for me was the Super Bowl halftime show with, of course, Kendrick Lamar featuring Uncle Samuel L. Jackson, SZA, and also Serena Williams, which was quite a surprise, specifically Serena. I don't know why I was surprised about Serena being there. I was very surprised. And while some might say that the performance was all about his beef with Drake, Kendrick really put on a buzzy performance with his hits like Humble, Squabble Up, as well as the Grammy winning song Not Like Us, which also just so happens to be a Drake diss song, right? And while the magazine highlights the fact that Serena appeared to Crip Walk dance and, also was an ex of Drake as well, her doing the Crip Walk had everything, in my opinion, to do with the fact that she did it when she won Wimbledon. She even made a video saying, if I would have crip walked like this at Wimbledon, I would have been fined. Like meaning that they would fine her, right? She also danced in Beyonce's video, if you remember. Sorry, I ain't sorry. Yeah, I ain't sorry. She did, remember? I ain't thinking about you. Now, the fact that she dated Drake and the Grammy Award winning, Pulitzer Prize winner, Kendrick, had a diss song about him, I think that was just icing on the cake. And I have to admit to y'all, I loved all the nuggets. I'm not a fan of this Easter egg word, that they talking about it. Oh, the Easter eggs. I say little nuggets or messages, basically, that the entire performance had. And you got to watch it more than a couple of times in order to truly dissect the entire thing. Now, I know that there was some hints that, it was not as hype as it could have been because no New Orleans artists were ever a part of it, yada, 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 some other things as well. It was right. In my opinion, it was just right. It was the right message at the right time. I feel like it reflected what it is currently going on in history, the divide of our country, a lot of other stuff in between, but most of all, the power of black entertainment, including rap beefs, inequality, and stunting on your ex while representing for the culture. Stunting on my daddy, stunting on my anyway. Kendrick Lamar's performance reportedly surpassed though Michael Jackson's as the most watched Super Bowl halftime show ever. Nobody entertains like us. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Okay, SZA and Kendrick Lamar are going on tour as well. You can always check that out on their websites. I have to say this. I caught this in one of the magazines I was looking at. I think his name is George Paniche. He's a photographer. He shared his experiences actually working with Kendrick before the fame, saying that the Golden Son was still a local rapper, figuring things out and making his way. Back in Compton, back in the day, they met at a Top Dog Studios to shoot the images. I think this is one of his first photo shoots, and it's kind of like a black and white photo of Kendrick at a restaurant in the booth, without the dreads actually, and he has on like an everyday T-shirt. It reads Streetwise, and I guess according to the photographer, it was a time in which Kendrick was running with J Rock, and then he was known as K Dot, and he would also serve as the hype man for J Rock as well. Now, if you ever hit up a spot in Compton and you wanted to be something that Kendrick Lamar would recommend, why don't you hit up Tam's Burgers in Compton? If you don't know, Kendrick actually likes or recommends. I don't know if he said he'd recommend this, but he seemed to like, at least during the time of this magazine article, the chili cheese fries. I looked it up because I wanted to know how much it costs. A small is only $8.49 and the large is $10.49 plus tax. Now it don't say plus tax. I'm just assuming that it's plus tax. California Love. You can also find Kendrick's new album GNX for free on a platform that I'll share more about at the end of the show. And let's get back to the game real quick. A lot of folks brought the family out, including Eagles running back Saquon Barkley, whose wife and children were there to help him celebrate his first Super Bowl win. And while Beyonce hung out with the rest of Destiny's Child members celebrating Kelly Rowland's birthday, did y'all see Kelly Rowland? Side note, I know I'm going all off. I can't never stay on track. Y'all see Kelly post that sexy birthday photo? Yes, Kelly. Yes, baby. Yes. Happy belated birthday, lady. I think her birthday's on February the 11th. So happy belated. And I must throw it back to the beginning of this Black History Month when Beyonce, of course, won during her epic win at the Grammys for Best Country Album as well as Album of the Year, putting her at a wop, 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 35 Grammys. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Kendrick. Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter. Black women who are running it in the Grammy streets includes also CeCe Winans with 17 Grammys as well as Aretha Franklin with 18, but Beyonce still leading with wop 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 35 Grammys. And while I was more than happy for Beyonce, I will say this side note. There was something that she said that I believe is a half truth, right? Which is easier to say, I think, when you've won album of the year for your country album. And the only reason why I'm saying it's a half truth is just because of the comments that I saw after she actually won for album of the year as well as best country album. She did an interview with Entertainment Tonight, and she said the love I got from the country community tonight really makes me feel so seen. When I see the comments again about her winning, it's not a as positive as her statement. That's all I'm gonna say. I will also say this: no matter what, continue to open up the world to the genre, to those who have truly embraced Beyonce's determination to ensure that she don't get pigeonholed. Shout out to you and shout out to Beyonce for always reaching higher, period, in her field and being the example that she talks about, which is focus on your thing. Whatever your thing is, you keep on at that. You just focus in on that. Folks like Miley Cyrus continues to support her, Shabuzi, right? Those people from the country world, those are not the people I'm referencing. But right, when you see some of the comments specifically during the time where she won the Grammys, it was just it wasn't all positive. Shout out to Dolly Parton as well. All right. I will always love you, Dolly. You know what? Also, I wasn't going to bring in the Grammys, and I know that that was a little time ago, but I want to real quick, let me pull this up because I want to highlight some of the folks who ate at the Grammys, right? Who won at the Grammys, including Kendrick Lamar for Song of the Year, Record of the Year, Best Rap Performance, Best Music Video for Not Like Us. It's also available on Hoopla. I'll tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later on in the show. Best R&B Performance went to Made for Me by Money Long. Shout out to you because nobody knows me like you. Lucky Day. He won for Best Traditional R&B Performance for his song That's You. Best R&B Album went to Chris Brown for his 11:11 album. And while the 11:11 album is not on Hoopla, his 2017 album Before the Party Volume 2 is. Now, Best Melodic Rap Performance went to Rhapsody featuring Erykah Badu for the song 3. Best Rap Album, I was so happy for this as well, went to Doechii for Alligator Never Heal, excuse me, Alligator Bites Never Heal. Best Spoken Word Poetry Album went to The Heart, The Mind, The Soul by Tank and the Bangers. The Best Jazz Vocal Album, shout out to jazz. Y'all, I love some jazz. And I love jazz, just the traditional jazz, but I also love a little bit of, some soulful jazz, some today's hits jazz, right? Where the saxophone might be playing the newest song by Beyonce or, Money Long. I love a little something like that. It almost feels like a crossover. Best R&B song went to SZA for Saturn. Best musical theater album went to Hell's Kitchen. That was the winner. I didn't know, I couldn't remember at first on one of my previous episodes if Alicia Keys had won for Hell's Kitchen. If you don't know, it actually is a sort of a play off of her life growing up, where she grew up in New York. Best Gospel Performance Song went to One Hallelujah with Tasha Cobbs, Erica Campbell, as well as Israel Houghton, featuring some others as well. Best Gospel Album and Best Contemporary Christian Music went to none other than Miss CeCe Winans. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what. I know a place. Do 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 do. I don't know. I just had this moment of thinking about that song out of nowhere, y'all. Ain't nobody crying. I'll take you there. Okay. For a full list of winners, visit Grammys.com. Thank y'all for letting me insert that little bit of old news up in there with the new news. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get back to the game. Now, Jay-Z, he brought Blue as well as Rumi Carter. They hung out with Daddy. And since we're talking a little bit about Daddy, we might as well follow up in regards to that case that was accusing Diddy as well as Jay-Z of assault to a minor. Well, guess what? Jay-Z can go ahead and rest in his victory because it was dismissed on this past Friday, confirms ABC.com. And the report goes on to talk about the fact that the Jane Doe reportedly voluntarily dismissed the lawsuit with prejudice through her attorney. Now, Jay-Z's attorney said the following: the false case against Jay-Z that never should have been brought has been dismissed with prejudice by standing up to the fact by standing up in the face of heinous and false accusations and allegations. Jay has done what few can. He pushed back. He never settled. He never paid one red penny. He triumphed and cleared his name. The article also goes on to say that the woman's lawsuit was initially filed in October 2024, one of a number of anonymous civil suits filed by Texas attorney Tony Busby against Combs. Now, the suit was amended, if you remember, back in December 2024, and that's when it actually brought in Sean Carter. The allegations were denied from the beginning, and Jay-Z did address the dismissal in a statement through Roc Nation, saying, "Today is a victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed. This civil suit was without merit and never going anywhere." He added that the trauma that my wife, my children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed. That means that he ain't gonna never forget that. Ever, ever, ever. Ever, and said that the court must protect victims as well as the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence. Now, while Jay was clear on his sentiments on the situation, so were the lawyers of Diddy, saying today's complete dismissal by the 1-800 attorney. Y'all, that was funny to me. I don't know why I thought that. They calling you the 1-800 attorney, Tony, okay? By the 1-800 attorney is yet another confirmation that these lawsuits are built on falsehoods, not facts. For months, we have seen case after case filed by individuals hiding behind anonymity, behind being anonymous, because for some reason, I don't know why I can't say that word right now, behind being anonymous, pushed forward by an attorney more focused on media headlines than legal merit. Just like this claim, the others will fall apart because there is no truth to them. Now, many of the lawsuits filed by Tony Busby, according to this report, against Combs specifically have not survived just because the plaintiffs declined to be named. Combs is set to start trial sometime, I believe it is in May. I think it's May 25th to be exact, for federal trafficking charges. More to come when it comes to that. Let's move forward from the game and go into Keke Palmer as well as Whoopi Goldberg, who both attended New York Fashion Week. Whoopi attended the Christian Siriano Fall Winter 2025 runway show on February the 6th. And also Keke Palmer, she shows some skin in a sexy backless gown at Brandon Maxwell. And speaking of Kiki's, side note, she recently did an interview, y'all, with Usher, in which I think she was discussing like that whole moment in which it kind of interrupted her relationship with Darius. Although Usher was like, "I ain't in this. I don't break up happy homes. I'm just here to entertain." Y'all, that's not what I'm supposed to be talking about. What I'm supposed to really be talking about is the fact that it's a comment that Justin Bieber made under one of them photos of Kiki. It's the one where she have on like the silk scarf. She got on kind of like this like short, like half mid chinchilla looking coat. You know what I'm saying? With like a little bathing suit top underneath and whatnot. Well, Justin must have liked it because under the photo, he said the following. She said, "I'm popping out." And he followed it up with that smiley face with the heart eyes emoji. You are married, Justin. Why are you leaving anything like that under the photo? But you know what? If I was you and my wife said something to me about me leaving a heart, what you do is you bring it back to the fact that it's entertainment. That's what Kiki told Darius. And you remember that they're not together no more. So don't take my advice, sweetheart. Don't take my advice, baby. I'm just telling you. I just think that it was just interesting, though, for you to put that under there. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I believe that whole my actual account was hacked kind of thing. I think sometimes celebrities be using that as an excuse. Not every celebrity, but sometimes y'all be like, I was hacked. I didn't mean to unfollow my wife on Instagram. I wasn't mad at her ass. I don't know the ins and outs of these people's relationship. That is just a joke. That is just a joke. All I do know though is some girls hate it when they man leave a comment under another woman's photo. I wonder how Haley really feels about that. Would she tell us the truth anyway, or would she continue to pretend like everything is fine? I mean, might as well pretend, right? That's what a lot of people are doing, pretending. At this point, we don't know what to believe, child. Hmm. Let me keep it moving though, because unfortunately, we have lost someone in the community. Irv Gotti, birth name Irving Domingo Lorenzo Jr. He has passed away. Now, the producer and A&R representative for Def Jam, he rose from the streets to the corporate suites, says NYT, New York Times, excuse me, nytimes.com. That's the name. I don't know why I wanted to say New York. I think it was just because I saw that it was the NY, but let me keep it moving. He's worked with artists like Jay-Z, as well as Ja Rule, as well as Ashanti, baby, 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 baby. Back last summer, I spoke about the fact that Murder Inc. Records co-founder admittedly struggled with controlling his eating habits as a diabetic, and due to him basically not being able to control it, it was a result of him suffering two strokes, I believe, and ultimately passing away. His family did also release a statement that's on their social media, and I just send condolences to the family and rest well, Irv. We talked earlier a little bit about Serena, but let's talk a little bit about Venus. Because Venus, is she engaged or what, right? Could there be a wedding or something like that in the works when it comes to Venus? Because she was caught actually kissing and holding hands to Italian actor or with Italian actor Andrea Peretti. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna pretend like how to say his name, but it's spelled Preti. The two were first romantically linked, according to the magazine, back in July 2024 when they vacationed together in Nerano, Italy. They say Italy got some good food. I can't wait to go so I can see for myself. See for myself. And let's talk a little bit about standing on business, because there's two black women who standing on business and a few other people who are also following suit. Issa Rae as well as Shonda Rhimes, they're standing on business, and apparently I guess after apparently the 47 took over as the chairman for the Kennedy Center, and he basically appointed himself, they say, by removing everybody as well. After he was appointed, he basically removed everybody who was appointed by President Biden. So he came in making changes. And that sounds very on brand for the 47th. Y'all, it's basically, though, caused a shakeup, says Bossip.com. Issa Rae canceled her sold out show at the DC venue. And she also posted the following statement saying, unfortunately, due to what I believe to be an infringement on the values of an institution that has faithfully celebrated artists of all backgrounds through all mediums, I've decided to cancel my appearance at this venue. Shonda as well, Shonda Land Rhimes. I call her Shonda Land because, she used to, listen, let me tell you, Grey's Anatomy, baby, that was a whole nother level, okay? I'm on a new level. And even when it comes to Issa Rae, baby, yes, your YouTube series was amazing, but when I tell you, when you came out with Insecure, you solidified the culture. Okay, you solidified. It's a everything. Okay, it was like it's a everything. All right. But Shonda also she resigned essentially. The powerhouse behind Grey's Anatomy as well as Bridgerton also made her stance clear by resigning from the Kennedy Center's board. It was a position that she held since being appointed by President Barack Obama. Shonda quoted the following on her social media, along with the caption saying that she resigned. If art is to nourish the roots of our culture, society must set the artist free to follow his vision wherever it takes him. JFK. Well, when you standing on business, you standing on business. And they're not the only ones. It's other folks who are following suit as well. And they are standing on and for what they believe in. I wish that I could say that I hope it's going to get better, but I do think it's going to get worse, unfortunately, before it gets better. But tell me what y'all think in the comments below. All of this chaos that we have going on in our society, is it going to get better? And if so, how? If not, why? And why not? On page 25, the magazine is recommending the following movie classics, including Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. They celebrating Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should always have a Black History Month corner, okay? It should be like an American history corner, and it should be specifically for Black history. And we should call it what it is, which is American history, because Black history is American history. They're also saluting to the Black women in NASA, so you can check out Hidden Figures as well. Also, the last black man in San Francisco is on the list, as well as the Underground Railroad with Thuso Mbedu. I hope I said that correctly. And also Aaron Pierre. I always wanted a brother. Okay, I'm done. Harry as well as Meghan, they're on page 40 to 41 with a spread about family, love, and his Invictus triumph. And country husband and wife duo. I didn't even know this until I actually read this. Country husband and wife duo Michael Trotter Jr. as well as Tanya Trotter. They discuss how love made our dreams come, starting on page 46. Now, a critical fact about them is that Tanya is basically the actor who sang "His Eye is on the Sparrow" with Lauryn Hill in Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. Now, the Oscar buzz begins on page 53 as well with actor Coleman Domingo. They discussed his back-to-back Oscar nominations, saying the first time you're sort of shot out of a cannon and you're just in awe. This time around, even when I found out, I had a sense of calm about me. It's great acknowledgement. Go ahead. Congratulations again, Domingo, Mr. Coleman Domingo. Zoe Saldana is up for her role in Amelia Perez, plus Cynthia Erivo as well as Ariana Grande. They're both nominated for their roles in Wicked as well. You can also check out People Puzzler this week because it includes a clue about Childish Gambino. We would love a new album when you coming out with another one. Did I miss something? If I did, y'all, let me know below. Now, I promised you that if you made it all the way to the end, I would talk to you about how you can get or access that free album. Well, I want to remind you that most magazines and books, as well as albums mentioned, that's not true. Just magazines and the books that I mentioned today is sourced through Hoopla and Libby, both free streaming platforms made possible through our local library. I will say this on a side note is that the few albums that I told you are available on Hoopla, those specifically are the albums that are available on Hoopla, okay? Not every album that I named, especially from that Grammy list, is available on Hoopla. But the ones that I did say were available, they are available. Because here at the Critic Chronicles, our goal is to provide quality but juicy content from websites, digital magazines, and tabloids, most of which are sourced through our public library. Research from the National Library of Medicine showed that there are an estimated 17,000 public libraries nationwide, totaling 4 million visits each day. Public libraries are civic organizations that are committed to providing invaluable resources beyond books that are free and open to the public. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today. Thanks again, y'all, for tuning in to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary reviews and tabloid news. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.